Today we have a look at Neil Young, the Olympics, new COVID cases, and much more.
We have today's weather forecast with Madison and a look at sports with Eli.
Today is Monday, January 31st, 2022.
We are live from Studio H12 and you are watching VOX News Today.
Welcome back. I'm Sorry Hughes.
And I'm Amber Phil Young.
Singer Neil Young has company and a boycott of Spotify. Fellow singer-songwriter Joni Mitchell says she too now plans to remove her music from the platform. In a post on her website, Mitchell says her decision is due to misinformation being spread about the COVID-19 vaccine by, quote, irresponsible people, which is costing people their lives. She goes on to say she stands in solidarity with Neil Young and the global scientific and medical communities. On Monday, Young, in an open letter, said he was pulling his music from Spotify. By Wednesday, it had been removed. Both Mitchell and Young call out Spotify exclusive podcast host Joe Rogan for promoting false information about the pandemic and vaccines.
A New York zoo has its first penguin chick hatched by a same-sex pair. The new chick hatched on January 1st to two male Humboldt penguins at a Rosamond Gifford Zoo in Syracuse. The same-sex foster couple is a first for the zoo, which has relied on foster parents to incubate eggs in the past. The zoo has at least two breeding pairs of penguins with a history of inadvertently breaking their fertilized eggs. So to give the eggs a better chance of hatching a chick, keepers may give the egg to a more successful pair to incubate. The zoo joined the species survival plan for Humboldt penguins in 2005 with the opening of its Penguin Coast exhibit. It has since hatched more than 55 penguin chicks.
Two of the men convicted of killing 25-year-old black jogger Amadou Aubrey in Georgia have reached a plea deal on hate crime charges. Federal prosecutors negotiated the agreement with Travis McMichael and his father, Gregory McMichael. They are serving life in prison without the possibility of parole for Aubrey's murder. William Roddy Bryan, who is serving life in prison with the possibility of parole for shooting video of the murder, was not mentioned in the deal. An attorney for Aubrey's mother says the family is devastated by the agreement. The lawyer called it a black room deal and vowed to oppose it when it goes to the court of consideration Monday.
UAE announced very early on Monday that it intercepted and destroyed another ballistic missile targeting the country. The attack did not cause any losses. The remains of the ballistic missile landed outside residential areas, tweeted the Ministry of Defense of the United Arab Emirates. The latest attack comes from a series of attacks launched by an Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen against UAE over the last 3 Mondays in a row. The first was a drone attack by the Houthis January 17th, killing 3 individuals in Abu Dhabi. Again on January 24th, the Houthis launched missiles, but the United Arab Emirates, with the help of the United States, intercepted those. Meanwhile, Israel's President Isaac Herzog is currently visiting the UAE, has been updated on details of the incident according to his spokesman. The president was in no danger, and there's no danger to the president and his entourage, said Israeli presidential spokesman Nir Yehia. Yehia also said that the visit is expected to continue as planned. On Sunday, Herzog met with Abu Dhabi Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Nahyan in Abu Dhabi.
Kremlin has accused the U.S. media of hyping up hysteria over Ukraine. To our dismay, American media has lately been publishing a very large amount of unverified, distorted, and deliberately deceitful information about what's happening in Ukraine and around it. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said in a conference call with reporters Monday, disagreements are discussed about the actual level of the Russian threat as Ukraine citizens are getting to the point of packing their bags to evacuate.
People are asking the Russians to explain themselves, questioning, if they don't intend to attack Ukraine, then why are they amassing an army of 1,000 troops? Or 100,000 troops. Russia insists that they have no intention of attacking, yet they have shown no signs of de-escalation. One Russian expert claims that their show of power is just that, a show. Russia sees the growing support for Ukraine from NATO in terms of weaponry, training, and personnel as a threat to their security. Tension is still thick as Ukraine claims that Russia is trying to destabilize Ukraine after the invasion.
Sony's superhero sequel brought in $11 million at theaters across the U.S. No Way Home now has taken in $735 million since it was released 7 weekends ago. That makes it the 4th highest grossing domestic release in history. Scream once again took place for the weekend box office with just over $7 million in ticket sales. Coming in third was Sing 2, which brought in $4.8 million.
Kia is recalling a number of their vehicles. The recall includes a number of Forte, Sedona, and Soul models. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says that airbag computer covers could possibly damage the electrical circuit that could result in the airbags not being activated in a crash. Owners can contact Kia's customer service line for more information. Drivers can also take their car to a local dealer, which will inspect the airbag control and either update the software or replace it at no cost.
And now let's check on our weather. Madison, what can you tell us?
The temperature was cold this morning, which seems to be our current weather pattern. I will share what the rest of the day will look like and more right after this break.
Wow, college already.
Yeah. We gotta go.
I love you.
I love you too, Daddy. And thanks for everything.
Gratitude. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
awful. Seriously, awful. But a lot better than last week.
We weren't born to follow.
Welcome back. I'm Madison Johnston with your weather. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather at glance. Right now in Cleveland, it's 28 degrees, and the high today will be 54 degrees and a low of 26. The precipitation's at 2% and the winds are coming at 1 mile per hour. Humidity is at 98%. The dew point is at 28 degrees. The pressure is at 30.18 inches. Visibility is 9 miles, and the UV index is 0 out of 10. Let's go ahead and look at our local radar. There's nothing in the area right now. And let's look at our national radar. There's a warming trend in the Midwest, which will be moving into our area in the next few days. And let's look at our 7-day. Monday will be a high of 49 degrees and a low of 31 with partly sunny skies. Tuesday will be a high of 50 and a low of 27. Wednesday will be partly cloudy with a high of 53 and a low of 33. Thursday will be partly cloudy with a high of 54 and a low of 36. Friday we'll have scattered showers with a high of 57 and a low of 38. Saturday those showers are still around with a high of 55 and a low of 35. And Sunday we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 48 and a low of 29. That's all I have for weather. Here's Eli with your sports report.
Stages set. Poor Jimmy Garoppolo could not make it to the final game of the season. And I have all that and more after this quick break.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm wrong. You're the one who misrepresented the facts.
Are you kidding?
Your proposal's ludicrous.
My proposal will go exactly the way I say it will.
My dead body.
I think somebody needs a timeout.
Oh, that's the power of one.
Civility. Pass it on.
One grain of sand can turn the tide.
I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike one. I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike two. I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike three. Wow! I'm the greatest pitcher in the world! Set!
Optimism. Pass it on.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back. The Super Bowl is 2 weeks away. And the biggest NFL game, oh shoot. A commercial break. Just scroll down. All right, welcome back. I'm Eli Dunn with your sports. 4 days away from the Beijing Olympics, but the steady increase of COVID cases could mar the opening ceremonies this Friday. China reporting at least 37 new cases inside the Olympics bubble on Sunday, bringing the tally to 176 people who've tested positive so far. It was so bad that CNN reporter Selena Wang had to go through multiple COVID tests and careful preparation. China identified 37 new COVID-19 cases involving Olympics personnel on Sunday, up from 34 cases record a day earlier. The 2022 Beijing Winter Games organizing committee said Monday of the 37 cases, 28 tested positive after arriving at Beijing Airport on Sunday, including 8 athletes and team officials. The remaining 9 cases involved athletes, teams, officials, skate holders already living inside Beijing's closed-loop system, which was designed to separate Olympics personnel from the public. Colombian cyclist Egan Bernal was thanked this Friday through his Twitter account, the clinic that treated him, specialists, loved ones, and followers for their support after the accident. The Colombian cyclist suffered an accident while training with his bicycle this Monday on the Bogota-Tunja road. Bernal said he had 95% of chance becoming paraplegic and losing his life, adding that he remains in intensive care awaiting more surgeries. Second-year quarterback Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals secure a spot in Super Bowl 56 in thrilling fashion on Sunday. The Bengals overcame an 18-point deficit en route to a 27-24 overtime walk-off win on the leg of rookie kicker Evan McPherson, whom you might remember from his divisional round star round, turned while Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs had experience on him big time. Burrow was the 5th player in the past 30 seasons to enter a conference championship game while leading the NFL in both completion percentages and yards per attempt, including playoffs. So, yeah, you already know he was pretty good at this football thing. So wrong. The end came sooner and the more heartbreaking fashion than the San Francisco 49ers could have imagined in a blown lead reminiscent of their most recent playoff loss, Super Bowl. The Niners coughed up a 10-point fourth-quarter advantage to the Los Angeles Rams on the way to a devastating 27-20-17 loss in the NFC Championship game on Sunday at SoFi Stadium. The stage is now set for this year's Super Bowl with the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Los Angeles Rams at the later home stadium in Inglewood, California. The matchup was secured Sunday after the conference championships. The Bengals beat the Kansas City Chiefs 27-24 in overtime in the AFC Championship, and the Rams rallied to win the NFC Championship 20-17 over the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams and Bengals have not met since 2019 when the Bengals lost to the Rams. That is all I have for sports. Stay tuned for more news right after this break.
CRCC to me is a calling that God placed on my life to really step out in faith on something that I didn't think I could do, and it's been amazing to see how God's worked through it.
CRCC stands for Crossroads Community Church, but we're a church that our vision is to be a life-giving church in our community. We do that through helping people know God, find freedom, discover their purpose, and then go make a difference. And so that's what we're doing every week, is helping people discover their jam and go make a difference.
I hope the days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you wanna go. And if you're faced with a choice and you have to choose, I hope you choose the one that means the most to you. And if one door opens to another door closed, I hope you keep on walking till you find the window. If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. But more than anything,
we broke Old Man Hennessy's window.
Correction, dude. You broke. I just threw the ball.
This is really bad. What are we gonna do? Dude, kiss your life goodbye.
Yeah.
Sorry, kid.
Keep smiling, keep shining. No,
Hi. Tell him it was an accident, and we can fix the window. I'll come with you.
that's what friends are for.
Welcome back.
Federal prosecutors negotiated the agreement with Travis McMichael and his father Gregory McMichael. They are serving a life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole for Aubrey's murder. William Roddy Bryan, who is serving life in prison with the possibility of parole for shooting video of the murder, was not mentioned in the deal. An attorney for Aubrey's mother says the family is devastated by the deal. The lawyer called it a backroom deal and vowed to oppose it when it goes to the court for consideration Monday.
After anti-government protests swept across Cuba in July, police arrested hundreds of people who had taken to the streets denouncing chronic shortages and lack of basic freedoms. Teams of special force units went house by house searching for the protesters. 2 days after the disturbances first broke out, police and special force troops raided the home of protester Daniel Cardenas Diaz. His wife, Marbelas, who managed to record some of the violent altercation, says police fired multiple shots, one that she says grazed her husband's head, and thrashed him, leaving a pool of blood in the living room floor.
A 7-year-old child was shot in the parking lot of a Georgia Chipotle Sunday night. The child was said to be shot accidentally by a 9-year-old inside a car, according to WSB-TV. Police say an adult went inside to pick up food and left a gun inside the vehicle. According to WSB-TV, the child was conscious, alert, and breathing when he or she was taken to the hospital. The victim's name has not been released. It's unclear at this time if the children were related or if the adult was related to the children. Police have not identified the adult or said if that person will face charges.
Judicial Circuit Court Judge Justin Angel sentenced 28-year-old James Allen Worley to 150 years in prison, according to Grundy County Sheriff Clint Schrum. A jury convicted Worley back in August. The incidents happened between January 2018 and January 2019. The victim was a child younger than the age of 13. In almost 30 years of law enforcement, this is the most heinous case of child rape I've ever seen. I am proud of the investigative and prosecutorial work done in this case. I also want this to serve as a notice to any child sex predator. These cases will be aggressively instigated and prosecuted.
Roland Caballero, who is accused of shooting 3 Houston police officers, is now facing additional federal charges. The 31-year-old allegedly used a machine gun and wounding the officers in a shootout on Thursday. Caballero will now face multiple federal weapon charges, in addition to 3 counts of attempted capital murder of a police officer. A search of the convicted felon's home produced assault weapons, shotguns, and 5 handguns, all illegal for him to own.
Sounding like something from a bygone era, a train robbery was reported in Georgia Saturday. The Atlanta Police Department says the train was in the northwest part of the city near the Chattahoochee River. No additional details have been released by the authorities. Norfolk Southern is investigating the incident. There's been a rash of train robberies along the Union Pacific tracks in Los Angeles area, which often leaves the area drowning in a sea of discarded items and packaging.
Starting now, you can grab a spicy pizza from your favorite Pizza Hut. The company just added the Spicy Lovers Pizza to their menu. The pie is loaded with spicy marinara sauce, 2 types of pepperoni, red jalapeno peppers, and a custom-made topping with herbs and crushed chili peppers. You can get it in 3 different versions: double pepperoni, chicken, and pineapple, and a veggie version topped with green bell peppers, onions, and mushrooms. A large order of the limited time pizza will set you back about $13.
It's National Bubble Wrap Day. Those air bubbles everyone loves to pop after they've protected a fragile item was actually invented for an entirely different purpose. 2 engineers came up with the contraption in 1956 when they sealed 2 shower curtains together. The technique caused air bubbles to form. The pair figured it would make a cool wallpaper, but the idea never took off. Instead, it was sold as greenhouse insulation and was named AirCap. The bubble wrap we know today was born thanks to big tech.
They say the pipe bomb was lying next to a bench outside the Democratic National Committee headquarters. Harris was inside the DNC for nearly 2 hours before it was discovered. Harris movements on January 6th, when former President Trump supporters breached the Capitol, have been shrouded in secrecy. It wasn't announced until earlier this month that she was even in DNC headquarters, according to an International Capitol Police timeline. An unnamed protectee was removed from the building 7 minutes after police began investigating. The bomb was safely neutralized at the scene by robots a few hours later. A source says the Secret Service was responsible for sweeping the interior of the building, the driveway, the parking deck, and entrances and exits before Harris's arrival.
Portugal's center-left socialists have pulled off a stunner, winning an outright parliamentary majority in Sunday's snap election. The socialists took more than 41% of the vote and will have at least 117 of 230 seats in parliament. Incumbent Prime Minister Antonio Costa called the result a vote of confidence in his government and party. He said an outright majority is not absolute power, and he vowed to not govern alone.
We are on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube through our channel BCHS VOX News.
You will also find more online at our website, voxnews.net.
Remind your friends to like, subscribe, share, and tune in.
You just cannot get enough of VOX.
That is all we have for you today from Studio H12 at Bradley Central.
And as always,
God bless and go Bears!